In the world of numismatics, each coin tells a story. Each design carries with it not only the face of a great figure from the past, but also the essence of the times in which that person lived, and the legacy they left behind. Among these treasured pieces stands the James A. Garfield presidential dollar coin, a piece that represents not only the 20th President of the United States, but also the tragic brevity of his time in office, and the enduring mark he made on American history. The coin belongs to the presidential $1 coin program, which began in 2007 as a way to honor each US president with the unique circulating dollar. Garfield's coin was issued in 2011 as the fourth release of that year, and the 20th overall in the series. To understand the full story behind this coin, one must first step back into the history of the man it portrays. James Abram Garfield was born on November 19, 1831, in a log cabin in Orange Township, Ohio. He grew up in poverty, raised by a widowed mother. After his father died when Garfield was just an infant, his childhood was marked by hardship, but also by a hunger for education and self-improvement. He worked various jobs, including as a canal boatman and carpenter, yet he pursued studies with fierce determination, attending the Western Reserve Eclectic Institute, later known as Hiram College, before transferring to Williams College in Massachusetts, from which he graduated in 1856. Garfield was not only intelligent, but also deeply moral, and driven by the conviction that public service was the highest calling. As a young man, he became a professor and eventually president of the Eclectic Institute, showing early signs of leadership and oratory skill. His eloquence soon led him into politics, and when the Civil War broke out, he answered the call to arms, joining the Union Army. He quickly rose through the ranks due to his tactical ability and courage, ultimately becoming a major general. Garfield fought in notable campaigns, and his service earned him the admiration of his men, as well as the respect of political leaders. His reputation propelled him into Congress in 1862, where he served for nearly 2 decades. Garfield became known as a skilled debater and a supporter of Reconstruction and civil rights. His political philosophy emphasized the expansion of opportunity and the protection of individual liberty. When Rutherford B. Hayes declined to seek a second term, the Republican Party looked toward new leadership. Garfield initially arrived at the 1880 Republican National Convention not as a candidate, but as a delegate supporting John Sherman. Yet as the convention dragged on and factions within the party could not agree, Garfield emerged as a compromise choice to unify the party. He was nominated and ultimately elected the 20th President of the United States in one of the closest elections of the 19th century, defeating Democratic opponent Winfield Scott Hancock by a razor-thin popular vote margin. Garfield's inauguration on March 4, 1881, was filled with promise. He sought to reform the spoils system, which awarded government jobs based on political loyalty rather than merit. He also advocated for civil rights education and economic modernization. Whereof Garfield's presidency would be cut tragically short. Only a few months after taking office on July 2, 1881, he was shot at a Washington, D.C. train station by Charles J. Guiteau, a disgruntled office seeker. Though Garfield initially survived the shooting, medical practices of the era ultimately failed him, as doctors probed his wound with and sterilized instruments, leading to infection. After suffering for 79 days, Garfield died on September 19, 1881, his presidency lasting only about 200 days. He was the second US president to be assassinated after Abraham Lincoln. This historical background gives deep meaning to the James A. Garfield dollar coin, which captures his image in enduring metal. The obverse of the coin features a portrait of Garfield designed by sculptor-engraver Phoebe Hemphill. His dignified face, framed with strong features, reflects both his intelligence and resolve. The inscriptions include James A. Garfield, the year of his presidency, 1881, the word liberty, and the motto In God We Trust. The reverse side of the coin remains consistent with the rest of the presidential series, featuring the Statue of Liberty designed by Don Everhart, with the inscriptions United States of America and the denomination $1. Surrounding at the edge of the coin is inscribed with the year of minting. The mint mark and the national motto "Et pluribus unum." The Garfield dollar was released into circulation on November 17, 2011, and like the other coins in the presidential series, it was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The circulation strikes came from Philadelphia and Denver, while the proof coins were struck at San Francisco as part of collector sets. These coins are composed of a manganese brass alloy, giving them a golden color. Though they contain no actual gold, their luster and design make them visually striking and highly collectible. From a collector's perspective, the James A. Garfield dollar coin holds historical significance as one of the few coins to honor a president whose time in office was exceptionally brief and whose life was defined by both achievement and tragedy. Values for these coins vary depending on condition. While circulation strikes are common and typically worth face value in worn condition, uncirculated examples, especially those graded by professional services such as PCGs or NGC, can command higher prices. Proof versions with mirror-like surfaces and sharp details also appeal strongly to collectors, and in pristine condition can be valued significantly higher than face value. Errors and varieties such as missing edge inscriptions, double strikes, or misalignments add another dimension to their collectability, with some rare error examples selling for hundreds of dollars. Sight beyond numismatic value, this coin serves as a historical reminder of Garfield's vision and sacrifice. It recalls an era in which the nation was still grappling with the aftereffects of the Civil War and the challenges of Reconstruction, and it underscores the fragility of leadership in a time when violence could abruptly end a presidency. Garfield's legacy, though brief in the executive office, endures through his advocacy for civil service reform and his lifelong dedication to education and equality. When holding or studying the James A. Garfield dollar, one is invited to reflect not only on the coin as a piece of currency, but also on the story of a boy who rose from poverty to become president, the story of a general who fought to preserve the Union, and the story of a leader who envisioned a stronger, fairer America. Though fate denied him the chance to fully implement his ideas, the coin stands as a silent testament to what might have been and what was accomplished in the short span of his presidency. Collectors, historians, and everyday Americans alike can see in this coin a symbol of resilience, duty, and the enduring spirit of the United States. As we examine this coin in greater depth, its details, the minting process, the variations between proof and circulation strikes, the market value trends, and the role it plays in the larger presidential $1 coin program, becomes clear that the James A. Garfield dollar is not just a collectible, but a gateway to understanding the broader sweep of American history. Numismatics is never simply about metal. It is about memory, legacy, and the stories that continue to shape the nation.